Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we're discussing about some announced changes to a couple, well, more than a couple of ships. So, a little while ago, Wargaming announced that they will be removing a whole slew of hulls from certain tech line ships, specifically the Megami, the Koenig, the Ryujo, the Furitaka, the Mayoko, the Izumo, the Iowa, and the Omaha. Now, according to them, the certain holes like the A hole, B hole type of deal, the holes that you have to research through when researching the ship, those will be gone. And some of the ships lost one hole, like the stock hole, like the A hole. Some ships lost A hole and B hole, and now it's just it. there's no more holes to research through. Now, those have been removed. The next set of ships I'm about to read off, apparently they've replaced the stock hulls, but they've changed the AA defenses on these ships. And to my knowledge, as of me recording this, they haven't announced exactly what's changed just yet. So, the Emil Bertin, the New York, the New Mexico, the Colorado, the North Carolina, the Bayern, the Ranger, the Fletcher, the Minx, the Kiev, the Ognavoy, the Tashkent, and the Udaloy. So they've taken researchable holes off of them, and they've created new holes based upon those holes, but with a changed set of AA. So they don't say whether it's improved or not, but this is in 10.3, by the way, not 10.2, not the current build of the game. Right now, everything is still intact. So for that second set of ships, it sounds like they just maybe got an AA buff, since the A is not really vibing that well right now, and the stock holes normally have terrible AA to begin with. So that might be what's happening there. Not 100% sure. They haven't released any more information about that. But that first set of ships is the set that I want to focus on right now, because I will put money down that we will see premium ships made out of these stock and researchable hulls, especially with the Iowa. Because right now in the game, we've got the Missouri and the Iowa in game right now. And I will put money down that we're getting New Jersey or a Whiskey with the A-hole Montana, or maybe the A-hole Iowa. You'll be watching some Montana footage right now, or the B-hole Iowa. Something like that. Either New Jersey or Whiskey. One of them. Same with the rest of these ships, because Wargaming loves to do this. The devs love to do this. There are so many ships in the game that are just stock hull ships, just down tiered. Like West Virginia, for example. It's literally the stock hull Colorado down tiered to tier 6. That is exactly what it is. And I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, adding more ships to the game is, of course, a good thing. More variety there. But just taking the stock hull, changing a thing or two about it, and lowering it down a tier. Like with the West Virginia. It's a battleship with 16-inch guns at tier 6. Granted, it is just stock Colorado, so when it gets up tiered, it's just pure pain. But you're only being up tiered to tier 8, not being up tiered to tier 9 like normal Colorado would. But it is still, it's West Virginia. It's a historical ship. It's a real steel ship. And sure, I'd like to see a New Jersey or a Whiskey at tier 8. That would be interesting to see. And again, history buffs will like to see those ships. But, when looking at the Izumo, for example, a tier 8 Izumo, A-hole Izumo with barely any AA, barely any secondaries, just drop down to tier 8. Sure, that'll be a fearsome ship at tier 8 if they keep the guns intact, especially with how Izumo is nowadays. Izumo should be absolute garbage, but then they buffed her several times over to get her to where she is today, which is a pretty darn good ship. And again, they need to make money to keep the game going, and this is a pretty quick way to flip a stock hull that people normally just free XP through, make a new ship out of it, and charge you $40, $45 for it if it's like a tier 8 ship or something like that. Now, if they do something interesting with it, I'm more okay with that. Like, for example, going back to the Iowa again, if they take, say, the B-hole Iowa, make it into the New Jersey, but then give it the Massachusetts treatment, and heck, leave it at tier 9 with the B hull of the Iowa. But just give it good secondaries, give it that Massachusetts dispersion and Sigma setup that the Massachusetts has, and leave it at tier 9, B hull, New Jersey. Change nothing else about it. Change the lettering on the ship to make it match the New Jersey. Boom. I'd buy it. I really would, because that'd be a really fun ship to play. A Massachusetts, Iowa? Heck yeah. I'd play that all day. That's a pretty good idea. Heck, if anyone's from Wargaming watching this, there's an idea for you. Take it, please. That would be a wonderful addition. A brawling Iowa. I'd love it, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys would too. Again, same thing with like the hills and the damage con. Give the Massachusetts treatment, and boom, there you go. I'd like to see that, but that I'm okay with. The other side of that, just taking it, dropping its health, dropping it down a tier, I'm not so okay with that. Now, they may not be doing this with every ship. They're claiming that they're doing this to make it simpler for progression through the tech tree, which is an interesting explanation, because it's already a breeze to go through the current tech tree in the game. Like, I'm sure most of you have seen my hyper grinding to tier 10 and 21, 22 games videos. If you open up your wallet, it is a breeze. Even if you don't open up your wallet and you just have like premium time, you can get through a tech tree in Warships playing for about 2 to 3 hours a day. Just like, say you get home, you play for 2 hours, you play 2 hours, that's what, 10 games maybe. You could do that for like a month and be at a tier 10 easy peasy. And if you sit down and grind, not hyper grind like I do for those videos and throw money at the game, but just sit down and just grind for like, say you're on vacation or something and you take 5 hours a day, you can get to a tier 10 ship in like 2 weeks in this game. Easy. Now, of course, if you don't have premium time, it's going to take you a while longer. For example, when I started playing the game, no premium time, I got to the Montana in about a month and a half, give or take a few days. But, I was playing for probably about 3 to 4 hours a day, some days 6 hours in college. Some days I had off, some days I was at college. Didn't take that long. It's not like War Thunder, where it takes, months and months and months to get to a top tier vehicle. The game's not that bad of a grind, which is interesting that that's their excuse for removing these ships. And I think having various hulls to grind through is pretty interesting, because you get to see kind of the progression of the ship over time, how it was refitted, and it's a nice detail in a game like this. Going back to the Iowa again, you had the original stock Iowa, then you got to see it when they covered the bridge and they began to strap more and more AA onto it, and then you get to see late war Iowa with all the AA mounted onto it. So you can see, throughout the war, aircraft were becoming more of a problem, and they just began mounting just mountains and mountains and mountains of AA onto the ship, and that's a cool thing to see. I really like that detail. But Wargaming is going to do what Wargaming is going to do, and I guess they need more premiums. They surely have been releasing them at quite the breakneck rate here, but I'm just saying, guys, not right away. It's going to be some time, but just like maybe 6, 7, 8 months from now, there's going to be a dev blog, and it's going to be about premium ships made from these ships' stock hulls. Now, 1 or 2 of these, I don't see how they would get away with it, like Omaha. Who's going to pay for a tier 4 Omaha if they do down tier the Omaha? Like, it just blows up when you sneeze on it. Or the Ryuja. And Ryuja's quite the powerhouse at tier 6. So maybe they're not going to drop it down to tier 4, because that'd be quite the drop in carrier. Heck, maybe they'll give it some type of improvement and up tier it to tier 8. Who knows? But we're going to get premiums out of these ships. I'd put money on it. I put money on it today that in 6 months from now, we're going to get premiums from these ships. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I mean, we could potentially be getting some ships that we've been wanted. Again, like like New Jersey or Wisconsin from the Iowa hulls, and maybe a couple more Japanese cruisers out of, for example, the Myoko hulls or the Furitaka. That's a very good ship. I do like the Furitaka quite a lot. Quite the jewel in the IJ and cruiser line, so I wouldn't mind seeing another Furitaka in game. Especially at tier 4, as long as they don't really wreck the ship too much, down tiering it to tier 4, it should be a fun little boat. But yeah, I guess we'll see if I'm right, but I'm fairly confident that I am. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and what would you like to see made out of these ships? Or are you okay with this at all? You think it's just a cheap cash grab from Wargaming? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way now to 25,000 subs, just past 23,400 a few days ago. And I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.